Actually, I can do better than that. Put a spoiler. Still not sure if the spoiler actually means anything. It'll do. I swear to god, messing around with audio levels is like the bane of my existence. Hey, Blood Dragoneer. Or Dragoona. I just called you Blood last time, I'm just gonna carry on doing that. What I find interesting about running this game, the career mode at least, is largely how it's all up to chance. And I know a lot of people don't like RNG and speedruns, but I think it makes it interesting, like the way that the whole career mode on this works and how events are randomly generated. It leads to a lot of like interesting opportunities with the RNG. But right now I'm just doing ILs, individual levels, so there's not really much interesting about this, I'm just driving. What is interesting about the ILs though is that they recently got pretty much completely redone the leaderboard, so there's loads more to do now. So what I'm doing right now is from the arcade section of the game, whereas before the only individual levels were for like circuits and stuff. But now I'm able to do ILs from a whole different part of the game, which lets me do a lot more shit. I was practicing this one earlier, and I forgot what like my benchmark lap time was. I was practicing this, and I was getting good lap times, but I forgot exactly what they were. Yeah, I'm like grinding out for world record times, I guess. It's kind of hard to know what the world record times are though, because the official leaderboard for this game, like, because this is a game from like 2005, so the official leaderboard is long gone by now. So we're just going by like times that we can still find on the internet. And as of right now, since we've just rearranged the leaderboards, this one has been hasn't been run yet, at least not on speedrun.com. So I'm gonna go through and claim a bunch of these free world records. But I hold my own runs in a very high standard, so I'm gonna make sure these are actually good. I hate submitting like bad runs just because it's a free world record to speedrun.com, especially since I'm very passionate about this game. Yeah, this game does have a very interesting history. So this game was by THQ, and THQ set up like a whole website for this game. Very interactive, lots of community contribution, and that was about 2005. And I think by like 2008, this game's like online presence was completely gone, because Juice 2 came out, and I suppose that just replaced it. But even if you dig further into this, like, this was originally being done by a different studio. I forget who exactly, and then that studio went bankrupt, so they sold off the rights to develop the game to Juice Games and THQ. But you can look at like early development of this game from like 2004 and like 2003, I think, and the like menus and everything look completely different, but the game is very much the same still. I'm not sure if Juice 2 was more popular. I think both of these games weren't all that popular, obviously. Need for Speed is the big one that everyone knows about when it comes to arcade racers. I always consider this game to be a bit of like a forgotten gem, because I really don't think it was too popular back in the day. I think it is kind of unanimously decided that Juice 2 is the worst game out of the two of these. They definitely dumbed it down a lot for the second one, but I still like it, like for its own reasons. I just prefer this one, of course. I think the times I was going for earlier were like 40-second laps, and I just got 42, so I'm definitely not doing very well at the moment. Yeah, I think, wait, hold on. There we go. I think, like, once Juice 2 came out, THQ, they shifted their focus towards Juice 2, like, the whole online website that they had for this game and everything. Because I suppose in their eyes, Juice 2 did replace Juice 1. But I think to the fans, this is definitely the more like popular one, the one which we favour. And it makes sense, of course, because THQ are obviously going to promote their newer game. Like, if you look at the Wayback Machine archives of the website, they even went through a phase of promoting Juiced Eliminator on the PSP, primarily for like a few months. Yeah, there's a lot of like lost history though, which you can only find using stuff like the Wayback Machine for this game. They had like a whole official forum for this game on their website. It's very kind of like stereotypical mid-2000s foreign business going on there. You mean like 100% is in a 100% speedrun? Yeah, so our main category for this game is actually the 100% run, because kind of any other completion of this game is very hard to quantify, because everything's quite random. So the only real way to like decide that the game is completed is to have it 100%ed. There's no kind of any percent which you can do, for example. So, like, all of the other goals we have for categories are, like, gain 1000 respect with all of the crew leaders and stuff. It's pretty arbitrary, all of the other categories that we have. The only real definite category which makes any sense to me is 100%. Yeah, I think this game's very interesting. There's a lot of oddities to this game which are like interesting to think about and try and explain. And it's very unique in a way. I think my lap times are terrible because I'm not used to streaming and talking while racing at the same time. It's okay, I'll get used to it. That was a good corner. That, not so much. So I guess just for some context, what I'm driving right now, Mitsubishi Eclipse obviously. This is an all-wheel drive car, and these are incredibly easy to handle in this game, very much a beginner's type of car. The rear-wheel drive cars, especially with high amounts of power, they spin out incredibly easily, they're very prone to oversteer. The front-wheel drive cars, they're also pretty easy to drive, they understeer a lot though, kind of like very typical of four-wheel drive cars and front-wheel drive cars in general. But yeah, four-wheel drive cars in this game, or all-wheel drive cars, very easy to handle. Which means I should be taking these corners better, honestly. Because it's not difficult to do these corners well in a car which isn't all that quick and also grips very well. Yeah, there is cam switch. I know a lot of people, it's kind of well decided in the speedrun community that hood cam is best, but I've always been a rear cam sort of person. And I think that just means I'm bad. Because I like to see what the rear end of the car is doing. If I was in this, for example, I have no idea what the rear end of the car is doing, and that just makes me drive terribly. But yeah, I say hood cam is like usually decided to be the best in racing games, but this game doesn't have hood cam, it just has bumper cam, which means you can't even see the hood of the car. You're literally just kind of like, the camera's on the road, sort of. And I don't like that at all. Like, I think that's really difficult to kind of have your bearings on where your car is. Like, I'm spinning out and this car grips super easy. So yeah, I'm definitely more familiar with this camera. This is the camera I've always used in racing games. It's that corner which is the difficult one. You go into it with a lot of speed and then there's a curb so you bounce a bit. And it's very easy to either oversteer, which just spins you out, or not turn enough and then just go into the wall. That corner feels very random when you go into it. The rest of these corners are fairly simple. A lot of them are just kind of 90-degree turns, almost. This is like a 180 here. The track layout here is like incredibly simple. Yeah, I guess I put it that way. It's kind of dizzying. Since I messed this up, I'll show you. Like, yeah, it's very hard to figure out what's going on here. I can definitely see how you get like dizzy or even motion sick trying to deal with that. I will say the only game I can deal with hood cam in is Underground 2. And like I said, the reason I use rear cam is because I like to see what the rear end of the car is doing at all times. But in Underground 2 with the Corolla setup, which everyone uses for the world records and stuff, that car just grips. Like there's no chance the rear end of that car is gonna, like, you're never gonna lose the rear end. So I feel pretty confident using hood cam in that game. But that is like pretty much the only game you'll see me use hood cam in. Decent turn there. I've kind of come to accept the first lap is always going to be about 45 seconds. I would ideally like these laps after the first lap, so 2, 3 and 4, to be either 40 or 41 seconds. I'll take it. That was a low 41. Yeah. There are corners like that in this game where you bump into them and there's no kind of like crash sound, there's no sparks flying off your car, you just kind of bounce backwards a little bit. A weird physics thing going on there. And it's not consistent either. Sometimes you'll crash into that and you will get sparks and there will be a crash noise, but like sometimes you just bounce back. It's weird. Decent lap 1. Very tight turn there. You always do run a bit of a risk when you have to jump over the curbs like that to cut corners as close as possible. This game has strange physics when it comes to curbs quite often. They're not Like, you can never say when you go over a curb that it's entirely reliable. Like there, my back right wheel there just clipped the curb ever so slightly and I lost the rear end. Which, I mean, I suppose that's realistic. That would happen in real life if you went around a turn that quickly and clipped the curb with one of your rear wheels, but yeah, there's a lot of inconsistency when it comes to curbs in this game, especially with speed. Yeah, there's you can never expect your lap 1 to be great. I've always kind of been fond of games where you can get a rolling start, so you actually start with some speed. Tried to cut that too close. But yeah, especially with some of the longer circuit lap times in this game. If you want to get a good time, you've got to do one entire lap first. Yeah, this game is incredibly bumpy. This is actually one of the flatter environments. We're in the downtown area right now. But if you go to like the hills, there's like a more hilly area in this game, and the changes in incline there become very bumpy. It's like you're driving in a straight line, but you're likely to spin out if you don't do a lot of correcting, just because of how bumpy it is. I'd definitely say that's one of the game's drawbacks when it comes to its physics. There's just bumps everywhere. It's like even I just went over that tiny little bridge there, and there was a tiny little change in incline, and the rear end did bounce up a little bit right there. Very bumpy game. See, that's how that corner is done well. That was a good example of me doing that corner well. But that was still a fairly mediocre lap, if I'm being honest. That was quite wild. Yeah, see, I spun too much there. I lost a lot of speed. You know, I'm gonna carry on, because those were 41s, and they were not great laps, but I just want to see what kind of time I'll get once I finish this event, because I haven't finished it yet. I keep restarting. So unless something goes terribly wrong on like the last two corners, I'll actually finish this event and see what kind of time I'm gonna get. Yeah, it's like I say, I have very high standards for my times in this game. So I think all of the laps except lap 1 were about 41.5 seconds. So a 250? I think I can get a sub 250. I can get like a 249. Or even a 248 if I was doing particularly well. So I think I'm going to go for a 249, and then when I get that I'll move on to something else. Because as much as I do hold my times here in... I do have a very... Hold on. Yeah, I have very high standards for my times. I am the only person on the leaderboards at the moment, or I will be once I submit this run, so... I don't need to submit an absolutely amazing time right off the bat. Actually, since you say you suck at racing games, what games do you play? I'm curious. Oh, that was very tight. I think I suck at racing games too. At least compared to other people I know who run racing games. I really don't think I'm that great. But this is like the only game I'm confident in my abilities with. I got a really weird bump on one of the corners in that lap and it was still fairly quick. It was a 41, but like, you know, it wasn't a 42, for example. Ah, there we go, that was good. Yeah, like I said, I very much feel at the mercy of the game when I go over those bumps. Oh, a 248, okay, I will definitely take that. As a kid you used to play Gran Turismo. Me too, I played Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. So, yeah, that gives you an idea of about how old I am, but yeah, I had a PS2, so that's the one which I had. And I played a variety of Need for Speed games. That was like my main series when I was young. I should probably add a marker. I set this up in my like stream manager thing so I could set a marker. So when I look back over the VOD I can highlight this. I honestly wish there was more variety in what games I play, because a lot of what I do is racing games. I guess there is quite a lot of variety in what I play, but racing games are definitely my favourites. I guess what next? So I've got all of these to do. Each of these has 5 events, and there's like, how many of these? I don't even know. I think there's something like 70 new individual levels on the speedrun.com leaderboards. So I've got a lot to do. I'm not planning on doing all of these, because that would be like a ridiculous amount of work, and I'd be doing this for years probably if I was to satisfy myself with what times I was getting. So I'll probably just do my favourites. Because like I said, the cars all handle very differently. The rear-wheel drive cars, they are very oversteery if they've got a lot of power, and they're just not fun to drive, some of them. So I really would not be having a fun time if I were to grind out, say, this one, an MR2 with like 300 brake horsepower. That thing would spin all over the place. It just wouldn't be fun to grind this time out. 3 laps around that track. I'd be there forever. Oh, you like rhythm games? That was, I went for a bit of a rhythm game phase for about 2 years. That was a few years ago. I played a lot of Stepmania. I got fairly good at it. Like, but I played Stepmania on keyboard. I didn't have a pad or anything. I just realised George went live. Of course George would go live the minute I start streaming. Yeah, so I just kind of need to look for all of these and decide which one I want to grind out next. There was one which I was looking at earlier which looked pretty interesting. Was it this one? Yeah, I think it might have been. So the 3000 GT in this game is one of my favourite cars because it is all-wheel drive, so it grips very nicely, and it is also, I think, the most powerful all-wheel drive car in the game. So it is overall just fast and very grippy. It's nice to drive. And here we are in downtown again. I have never heard of Muse Dash. Like, as much as I say I did get quite into rhythm games for a while, I was never really part of the community. I think I just knocked my mic. Yeah, I was never really part of the rhythm game community, so I didn't really know about other rhythm games. I just played Stepmania by myself. I need to readjust to this car. So that Mitsubishi Eclipse I was just driving was not very powerful at all. And now this car is incredibly powerful. But they both handle fairly similar because they're all-wheel drive, but there's just a huge difference in speed. 100 hours. Honestly, games which are simplistic but have like good retention, so you'll play them for a long time, that to me is very indicative of good game design. You know, if you can make a simple game that keeps people coming back, then you know you've made a good game. Runner but rhythm game. Is Runner a game I don't know of? You mean like a sort of side-scrolling thing? Alright, yeah, side-scrolling. I mean, that sounds fairly similar to how I remember Geometry Dash then. It's not like I've ever played that game, but I've seen a very brief amount of footage. But that always seemed to me like a sort of rhythm game thing, but it was also side-scrolling. There's not a lot of space there to turn back in. I think third gear is best for that corner. 2 buttons. Alright. Yeah, that does sound very simplistic. Actually, no, I think I can get with 4th round that turn. So, one thing you might have noticed me doing is double upshifting, so I go from like 1st to 3rd. Like there, and in some cars that is actually like desirable, like you want to do that. Just because the gear ratios in this game can be a bit weird, and cars have a lot of power, so sometimes it's best just to skip a gear when you're upshifting, which like really sounds like a bad idea, but like it works. Especially if you're using nitrous, which I'm not, but like if you're using nitrous then you can just skip a whole gear and you don't even really feel it. Cute anime girl aesthetic. I know that draws a lot of people in. Yeah. That was almost good. I just tried to cut a little bit too much. Ah, got some oversteer there. See, the thing is about these cars, because they're like all-wheel drive and they're very grippy, when you do oversteer, it doesn't really feel like it. Like, you're still gripping, like I'll do it here, like, you're still gripping the road, like, you haven't lost the rear end, really. But, like, you're kind of power sliding, I guess, maybe that's the right term? I don't know cars all that well, honestly, when it comes to the technical terms. But yeah, if you're going on about the upshifting thing, yeah, sometimes it is just quicker to double upshift. And just, like, miss second gear like I did there. I think that might be quicker, but it's very much on a car-by-car basis. So it all depends, like, how much power you've got, that sort of thing, how much acceleration you've got. Which means, since all of these events have different cars, I'm kind of having to, like, work it out on the fly. So I'm still not sure yet if doing that double upshift there from 1st to 3rd is actually quicker or not. It feels like it, but, like, I'm not going to time it. That would be, like, really specific. I knew that was going to happen, but there wasn't really much I could do about it. I don't know, maybe I should try just going 1, 2, 3 like normal, instead of just going 1 to 3. I just, when I do that, I feel like I'm wasting time shifting gears though, because it, you know, it takes a little moment to shift gears, but... And it just doesn't really feel worth it. But then, if you go from 1 to 3rd, then you're kind of losing speed. So it's like, it's a trade-off. Do you want to lose a bit of speed, or do you want to perhaps lose some time shifting gears twice? Tell George I say hi then, if you're watching both of us. If I end up stopping this stream before George stops streaming, I'll definitely raid him. I mean, if my computer wasn't terrible right now, I would definitely have George's stream up on my second monitor, so I could be seeing what he's doing whilst I'm also playing this game. That's kind of... I don't know if you really know my computer situation, but it's not great at the moment. Like, that's why I'm streaming at 480. The 480p isn't a internet thing, it's actually my computer can't handle streaming any higher quality than that. But yeah, that's kind of the reason why I'm doing individual levels at the moment. I don't want to start, you know, properly grinding out full game speedruns until my computer's a little bit better. I had a bit of a disaster a few months ago and a whole bunch of things with my computer went wrong. And I'm only just starting to recover now. It was about April that happened, I think. And the funny thing happened is because my computer stopped working, because my computer suddenly was terrible, I'm like on integrated graphics and everything, the only game I could really play was Juiced. Because this game came out like 2005, I can get 30 FPS in this, it's fine. But because then I was playing Juiced again, I was like, hey, I want to speedrun this, I want to stream this. But then I couldn't stream this because my computer was terrible, it was like a catch-22. But yeah, I've got a huge frame rate struggle at the moment. There's very like specific games which I can play, most of which are 2D, so you know, Juiced is a bit interesting because this is a 3D game which I can play. Which is nice because, you know, like pretty much every racing game is 3D. But I was playing like a lot of Stardew Valley and stuff because that game is so incredibly simple, like in graphics, you know. Yeah, too much spin there. Yeah, but like I said, that wasn't really oversteer, it was just kind of like a power slide, I guess, you know? But you still lose a lot of speed by doing that. Not my mic again. That probably picks up. Yeah, that picks up very loudly, I can see that on the mixer. I'm pretty sure I haven't even finished a full run of this yet. Like, I've just been getting to like the third corner and then resetting. That's how it goes for me. That's when I do IOWs, I always reset like 10 seconds in. Because I have way too high standards, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think fourth gear is best there. I don't know. This turn is like a 270-degree turn, and it's like a huge right turn. And I really am not sure like what the best way to preserve your speed through that is. Because that is a big turn. Yeah. Tried to use the curb there. The curb betrayed me. Same old story. Yeah, I think for both of these turns, fourth gear is fine, honestly. I think I'm underestimating how quickly this car revs up. I'm not sure if fifth is really the best choice there, though. Yeah, I do. A lot of speedrunners do as well. But like, the high standards for this game really not all that necessary. It's not like I've got any competition. It's just, you know, high standards of myself, because I could submit whatever time I wanted for this track, you know, for example, because nobody is on the leaderboard for this. I could submit like an absolutely trash run, but I'm not gonna, because, you know, I actually have standards. And like I said, I love this game a lot, so it would be doing a bit of a disservice to upload some terrible times to the speedrun.com leaderboard. But I'm not going to go like full-on perfectionist mode, because I've done that before, and I spent weeks like grinding out one level, and by the end it just wasn't fun anymore, you know? Yeah. But I know ILs are not all that interesting to watch, so I appreciate you sticking around, because you know, it's pretty much just like do a couple turns, make a mistake, restart, you know? Kinda, it's a bit of a loop going on here, you know? And that's what most people who stream ILs end up doing, just restarting a lot. Not really all that interesting to watch. And I think, honestly, when it comes to me, I am incredibly inconsistent. Like, just comparing myself against other runners, racing game speedrunners, just like in general, they'll make a mistake like once, like that turn, say someone else, they get that turn wrong once, and then they'd never get that turn wrong again. They will have learned from their mistake, but that never happens for me. I always just carry on doing the same mistakes over and over. I'm just very inconsistent. Which I think is the reason why I always take so long to get out good runs. Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, I'll be honest, most of the time when I see someone and they are grinding out ILs on stream, I do not watch, because I think this whole process is incredibly boring. Of just like, you know, doing a couple turns, making a mistake, and then restarting. It's not all that fun to watch. But the primary reason I'm doing this is because I can stream it, and then I can upload the stream highlights to the speedrun.com. You know, it's always good to stream speedruns, right? Because, you know, it's much harder to cheat, for example, when you're live. But, you know, I have also been meaning to stream as well, get back into this. Since I said I've been starting to play Juiced again, and playing Juiced makes me want to speedrun it, and, you know, speedrunning is associated with streaming and everything, so kind of just by playing Juiced it makes me want to stream, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, but like I said, once my computer is in a little better shape, I will start grinding out them full game runs, that 100% run, and the other ones. I've been working on the category, like off stream. I mean, not working on the category, working on the route. You know, making it all optimized and stuff, or trying my hardest to. So I've got the route all nice and memorized now, so once my computer's in a bit better shape, I'll actually be able to just get straight into speedrunning that category. But for that sort of thing, since it's a full game run, I like to have you know, good quality local recording for that, so I can put it on my YouTube channel. Because my YouTube channel is pretty much exclusively Juiced content, or at least the public videos are. So yeah, in terms of full game speedruns, I like to have a nice high quality local recording for that so I can put it on YouTube, and at the moment my local recording, like my stream, is 480p. I don't really want to be uploading that to my YouTube. So for now I'm just doing IALs, because IALs I don't really mind if they're just Twitch highlights and they're 480p. I mean, it's just an IAL, it's not that big of a deal, especially when there's so many of them in this game, right? Ah, that was almost going to be like an actual finished race right there. I should really focus on actually just, you know, finishing one so I can get at least like a baseline time. I can get like a ballpark estimate of what sort of time I'm going for here. Because I could finish a run and it would feel good, but I'd have no idea like how good it actually was because I don't have anything to compare against. So I need to do like an average run and actually finish it so I can, so you know, I've got like a baseline time to compare against. Because like right now I have no idea what I'm aiming for time wise. But I can't I can't carry on if I crash into walls like that, because that would just be a bad baseline. If I've got like a, if I'm comparing against something which just crashes into walls everywhere, like of course I'm going to get a faster time than that. Yeah, personally, 480p is fine for me. Like, of course it's not HD, but I think it's because my second monitor, which I usually put stuff like videos when I'm doing other things, I put them on my second monitor, and that includes streams, so, and my second monitor is like really low res, it's like 1440 by 900, that's the resolution. I think it's a 16 by 10 aspect ratio. So, yeah, that's not really all that high res, so if you watch a video in 480p on that monitor, then it doesn't even look all that blurry or anything, because it's like low res anyway. That was a 1:13:26, okay, I'll take that into consideration then. So yeah, what I'm saying is if I've got like videos on my second monitor, which are in 480p, they don't even look all that bad. And the reason I watch them in 480p on my second monitor is because anything higher than that, and my computer can't really handle it. My computer is that bad. Because usually, like I said, if I've got something on my second monitor, then it's because I'm multitasking. And I just want something on in the background. And if I'm multitasking, that means I'm probably doing something which requires my, you know, my computer's energy on my main monitor, right? So I don't want something like a video on my second monitor, which is just like background material for me, sucking up all my power, right? So that's why I watch in 480p on my second monitor, and honestly it's fine. I thought you could carry so much more speed into that turn. But like, you'll probably notice the final part of that, the final few turns of that is like the one I was doing a while ago in the Mitsubishi Eclipse. You know, the one I was doing before this. Because this is still in the downtown area of the game. So there's all these races in this downtown area, they all take place kind of on the same roads. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna carry on just because I want to see like how good that 113 was. See if this gets close to it or not. I mean, like, ideally, if I were to guess just based upon that 113, I'd say like a 111 or something, probably fairly easy to get. Okay, yeah, so this is like a high 113 as well, so that time I got the 113, the first one, that obviously wasn't all that great. So I'll carry on. I don't know, probably 111, try for that, I guess. Also, I haven't touched on this yet, but I'm not using nitrous. I don't know if you noticed, but like, there is nitrous in this game if you didn't know. And I'm not using it because this was kind of like a community decision the moderators for the speedrun.com leaderboards did, so that includes me, where we were splitting, we have split the IL leaderboards between nitrous and no nitrous, and I feel like not using nitrous, I don't know. Just for now at least. But, like, you know what I said earlier, there was, like 70 individual levels to do in this game. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly, but, there's actually probably double that, because you've got all of the individual levels with nitrous and then without nitrous. So, like, I'm absolutely certain the individual level leaderboards are never going to be filled out fully. Like, even if I spend, you know, months grinding out all these times. I mean, if you're not familiar with this game, I suppose, like, you could just not notice that that's a nitrous bar, because you wouldn't know where to look, right? But you know what, I'll show you. I'll do one attempt with nitrous. So, usually, like, you just nitrous right off the line, big acceleration bonus, right? And because I was using nitrous there, you get a big power boost, so I did skip the second gear there. But yeah, using nitrous is like the intended way to play this game. But we have decided, the speedrunning community has decided that we have got a category in the individual level leaderboards to which excludes nitrous. You can't use nitrous in that category, and I am honestly all for that, because nitrous in this game can be a bit of a pain, if I'm being honest. That's not good at all, but I'm just, giving an example. And 111. Honestly, which environment are you talking about when it comes to Trackmania? Because I haven't played Trackmania in a long time, but I'm not really thinking of any Trackmania game which feels like this. Or any of the environments, I should say. The slippery one, Canyon? Canyon's like the kind of break to drift one, I think. Sunrise. I don't know what ones were in Sunrise. I played Trackmania 2 and Trackmania Wii. Wii. Trackmania Wii had like, I know you've explained this to me, like you yourself have explained this all to me before, but I forget. Trackmania Wii had like a bunch of environments. It had, I think, like 6 of them, and it was like a combination of 2 of the games. But honestly, Trackmania Wii, for what it was, like, pretty decent representation of the Trackmania franchise on the Wii. It had like 6 environments and had the level editor and everything. Let me think exactly what environments were in the Wii one. So you had Stadium, I know you had like the desert and the rally one. You had the island one, I think it was called Island. You had Coast, and then Snow, I think that's all of them, if I remember correctly. That sounds like all of them. So, I played Trackmania Nations Forever when I was little. Or when I was like 10, I should say. Because Trackmania Nations Forever was like the free one, right? And I was just looking for free racing games to play when I was that young. That's how I ended up playing Need for Speed World. Like, I was just desperately looking for free racing games to play because I was like a big fan of Roblox as well around that age. So I was like, I like the whole MMO style thing, but then I also really like racing games. So just like, give me a free MMO racing game, please. And then Need for Speed World showed itself, and I was like, whoa, this is exactly what I wanted. But then also like, on that journey I discovered Nations Forever as well, and I played quite a bit of that. The new one, I keep forgetting that even exists, but like, I'm pretty sure everyone who's in the Trackmania community is just focused on that one now. But I still forget it exists regularly. Oh yeah, it's on Epic, isn't it? It's fucking Epic, man. But Trackmania is Ubisoft, right? So shouldn't it be on Uplay? Yeah, download it on Uplay, so it's on Uplay. Yeah, I have heard of Soapbox Race World. I've never played it, but I know about it. Recently, I've been playing just Need for Speed World, but the offline client. So I think it's like pretty much the same as Soapbox Race World, just offline. I don't know. There's a lot of different like distributions of Need for Speed World since it went offline. So it's kind of hard to describe which one I'm on about, but yeah, there's lots of like fan-made ways to play the game since it went down in 2015. I know there's one where you can play Need for Speed World, where you can just like give yourself everything. You can just give yourself infinite money. And I know it's not that one. I have messed around with that one before just to, you know, buy all the expensive cars which I could never buy when I was a kid because paywalls. But yeah, that's not the one I've been playing lately. I've been playing the one where you actually have to earn your money. I'm not really not anymore at least, I'm not really a multiplayer game sort of person. So, as much as Soapbox Race World, that does sound like really cool, since they brought back Need for Speed World, that doesn't really interest me all that much. I don't really feel like dealing with other people. Yeah, but I used to play so much Need for Speed World. I suppose I should just like talk about how much I used to play Need for Speed World when I was like 11. Because yeah, I used to play that game like online back when it was still in its prime. I used to play that a lot. But I never like put any real money into it, and that's something I regret now, because at the same time I put a whole load of real money into Roblox. And looking back, I think I probably would, let's say like, if I put my money into Need for Speed World instead of Roblox, I probably would have had, you know, fonder memories. Because I look back at me being like 11 and having Builders Club in Roblox, and I'm like, oh, why did I do that? But if I say like I put a bunch of money into Need for Speed World, and even though it's down now, I'd probably feel like, you know, that was more worth my money. Say if I put like, I don't know, however much money you needed to buy a nice car in Need for Speed World, if I put that much money into the game, I'd probably, you know, feel much better about it now than I do towards Roblox and how much money I put into that. It's not even my money, I'm saying it like I, you know, paid for my Roblox subscription. It was like all my mum's money. That's kind of funny actually, Blood, how your intro was offline. So I suppose you, your first exposure was like post 2015, so post the server shutdown. Because that'd be a really weird way to introduce you to a game, because like the offline version is kind of just like an empty shell of what it once was, right? Because the game's all set up to be played online, but then if you're playing the offline client, it's just kind of all empty, and there's like all these online features which don't really work properly. That's definitely like the overwhelming feeling I got playing the offline client for the first time. Once I heard that the game had gone down, it just felt so empty, you know? Because you're used to all these people driving around and like events happening, but there's just nothing there anymore, right? So I suppose Soapbox Race World, that kind of brings that feeling which the game once had, it brings it back. Fucking curbs, man. Yeah, but what was I talking about, World? Oh yeah, so I put like so much time into that, but like I said, I never put any like real world money into it, because it was all very pay to win. So I was stuck with like the bottom of the barrel when it came to car selection. So I had like a Dodge Challenger, and I know at one point there was like a T-Mobile sponsored Mazda 3, and I think that car was like, you could get that for free because it was like a sponsorship car. I'm like not even driving properly at all because I'm just talking, but yeah, I had like really terrible cars, and then I know over time I like properly grinded out, you know, loads of the in-game currency, and I eventually saved up and I bought a Subaru Impreza, and that was like a sponsorship car as well, so that was even cheaper than what it should have been. I think it was sponsored by Royal Purple, who are like an oil company, and yeah, I bought the Royal Purple Subaru Impreza, and it was like my proudest item in the game, because I spent so much time grinding out for it, and all of the things that you could get in the game were so shit tier if you didn't actually give them real money, so like I was so happy to have this Subaru Impreza, and then I got myself banned. I got myself fucking banned from Need for Speed World, because I like fucking used Cheat Engine. I used Cheat Engine, I used like the built-in speed hack thing which Cheat Engine has, because I guess I wasn't happy that I got this like this huge upgrade in the form of this Subaru Impreza, but it wasn't quick enough for me, so I used speed hacks. And then like a couple days later, my account, I just couldn't log into it, so I assume they banned me. I didn't get any like correspondence from EA or anything, but like couldn't log into my account anymore, so I assume they detected I was using Cheat Engine and just like deleted my account. So that was a lot of time wasted of me just grinding for like in-game currency, and it all ended up being for nothing. But then I suppose when you think of it, everything that anyone did in Need for Speed World ended up being for nothing because the game shut down. I guess now I think of it, if I had put a bunch of real world money into Need for Speed World and then the servers shut down, I probably would have been annoyed. Especially if I put like a bunch of real world money into it in like 2014 and I only got like a year's worth of time out of all the stuff I'd bought. Because I know like towards the end they made everything super cheap as well, because, you know, they were shutting down soon, so they wanted to give everyone a chance to actually drive the cool stuff. Hold on, I gotta have a drink. I've been talking way too much. Well, you have 2 hours to play and then it boots you off. You mean like on Soapbox Race World? Because I don't remember that ever happening on the original, on like the actual EA server. Yeah, I get like when it comes to these MMO services, everything has to like disappear in the end. They can't keep supporting it forever. Especially when it comes to EA, who are like notoriously bad with just like shutting things down. Because I think Need for Speed World got shut down, Need for Speed World got shut down at like the same time like a Battlefield MMO got shut down as well. Like they just did a thing where like they just shut down a bunch of their online services, I guess. And Need for Speed World got cut. The Soapbox World United server, that is one that I've heard of course. Like I said, I haven't played it, but like I know of people who have played on that server. It kicks you off every 2 hours. That seems a bit weird. I don't know like why they do that. I don't know. I don't know about these sorts of things, honestly. Because these are all custom servers, so I imagine there's also like a pay-to-win aspect on the custom servers as well to incentivize you giving them money. Wait, that was a 112. I'm not even paying attention. Like, I don't know if you're really like paying attention to how well I'm driving, but I'm driving like total shit. Because I'm like just focusing on talking. I'm gonna get 111. I'm gonna get 111 and then I'll move on to something else. Because like, I don't know how long I've been doing this, but it feels like I've been doing it for way too long now. Like, this clearly isn't interesting to watch. Fucking, that turn though. I keep getting caught out by that turn. Honestly, if I was to give my honest review of the downtown area of this game, I like the downtown area. I like the actual built-up metropolis part of the downtown area. I suppose that's how I describe it. But this kind of bit out here, where it's a little bit more green and there's some hills going on, I don't like this part to drive. I don't know, I don't think the corners flow very well. But I like the setting, of course. Like, it's a downtown area, it's kind of like a staple of a racing game. And I think they do it quite well in this game, but this hilly section around here, which this track goes through, not a fan. But honestly, there are much worse roads in this game, so I guess I shouldn't be so mean about this one road. Because at least it's not like incredibly bumpy to the part where it's hard to drive, you know? You can drive it fairly easily, it's just it doesn't feel like it flows particularly well. You know, I touched the wall that time, but like, I don't know, I didn't lose much speed, it's fine. Ah, this is bad. I'm gonna carry on though, because there hasn't been any, you know, major mistakes yet. You know, I'm starting to, like, feel that maybe a sub 110 is possible in this course, and I'm just driving really terribly. That was well done, though. That was the corner where I usually, like, carry way too much speed and just go right into the wall, but I did, like, this weird spin, and it, like, actually worked. Interesting. Oh, okay, I got... Oh, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna use nitrous. That was really bad. That was gonna be decent, and then I just grinded right up against that wall on the last straight. Maybe I should just, you know, go back to actually focusing on the game. Yeah, that was a rip. Like, I don't think that was going to be my goal, like, because my goal was a 111, I don't think it was going to be that, but, like, it was a decent overall run, which just ended up being ruined by me grinding right up against that wall. That one turn, though, which I mentioned, where I usually, like, carry way too much speed and go right into the wall, that turn where I did that, like, weird spin, that was actually really good. And I'll try and do that again. Yeah, but like, when I was talking about the whole flow of this area, this giant, like, roundabout, that doesn't feel very nice to drive. Trying to, like, preserve speed through that giant 270-degree turn. Right, it was this turn. I mean, I guess that works, like, I don't know, maybe that loses too much speed, but, Yeah, see, that was a good final turn. How quick's this? 112? It was a 111. Ugh, it's a 111.95 though, I can do better than that. You know, I'm gonna mark that on the VOD, and then I'll try a bit more, and if I don't get any better, I'll just submit that. That was silver time trial, and it was I don't know what number it was, but I'm just gonna put 3000 GT because that's the car. But I've been stripping for an hour. Wow, this is tiring. I've been talking like way more than I usually do. Yes, I'm gonna try some more. Nah, you're not bugging me too much. I feel kind of bad because I keep saying like, oh, I'm being distracted because I'm talking a lot, and I'm not focusing on the game because, you know, I'm talking, and you're like the only person in chat, unless N111's still here, but like, it's not your fault, right? Don't feel bad. It's just like, I never stream, so I'm not used to, you know, reading chat. You know, I very much, like, appreciate you being here, right? I'd much rather there be someone in my chat than nobody in my chat. That was also 111. So, like, that was, like, pretty much the attempt after. I don't know, maybe I did some restarts in there, but, like, it was, like, right after I get a better run. I'm not even going to mark that in the highlight VOD thing, so if that does end up being my best attempt, I'm just going to have to, like, look closely in the VOD. It's like, at this point I do kind of feel like doing something else. I have been driving this Mitsubishi for, like, I don't even know how long at this point, so yeah. Honestly, chatting on stream is great. I'm not really much of a stream watcher, like, I pretty much just watch George and Badger. But yeah, I'm definitely more fond of chats where, like, there's only a few people around. I couldn't imagine, you know, being active in a chat of, like, a famous streamer where there's, like, hundreds of people typing messages at the same time. And I couldn't imagine, like, me trying to interact with a chat like that either. It's like when people get to that level of popularity, when there's like hundreds of people trying to get the streamer's attention, that's when people start talking about like parasocial relationships and stuff. And I would never want to be like that if I was a streamer. That's like way too much pressure on me. You're like a celebrity at that point. It's like, I'm never gonna be a big streamer, right? I don't even want to be. And like, this is like my second time streaming in like 2 years. I took a huge break from streaming because I wasn't speedrunning, and if I'm not speedrunning, then I don't really have anything to stream, right? Like, I'm not all that interesting of a gamer, right? So I can't just be a variety streamer and stream like whatever I want and have people actually show up and want to watch me for it. So yeah, I'm definitely the type of person who's only going to stream if I'm speedrunning something. Yeah, 300 people, that sounds like a lot, honestly. Ah, come on. It's the last turn. It's still like a 113. That was going to be a 113. Yeah, but honestly, like the best streams, like George and Badger's stream, only a few people show up to chat in those streams, and that's honestly the best, in my opinion, because you can actually have some interaction going on. Oh, that was really tight. And that was like unnecessarily tight as well, because I was just about to turn the other direction anyway. Ah, lost quite a lot of speed there. It's okay though. I thought I was going to clip the wall, so I corrected my line, and then I just corrected it too much, and I went into the other wall. Alright. Yeah, this is gonna be bad, but like, we're close to the end anyway, who cares? Like, I don't know why I'm still going with this, like, I've got a, I think it was a 111.8, which is, you know, kind of within my standards. You had that awkward moment where the streamer notices you, but chat starts scrolling. Oh yeah, that's definitely something you struggle with if you want to send like a message which is, you know, more than a couple sentences long. And that's like another reason why I'm not a fan of chats with like big streamers where their chat is scrolling really quickly, because it kind of encourages you to not really say anything with all that much depth, right? You just gotta type like one sentence and try and get your point across with that. Or, you know, just use emotes. Just try and, you know, just react with emotes. Hey, that was pretty quick. I like that. Ah, I tried to do the same thing again and I just turned too much. But yeah, I'm fully starting to understand the types of people now who speedrun racing games and they don't even like look at chat whilst they're in the middle of an event, because they know it will mess them up. I understand those people now. That was quite a lot of speed loss right there. I wonder how George is doing, if he's still streaming. Because, like, I'd hate to miss him getting a PB in the run. That would be, like, really bad. If I was streaming and then I miss him, like, getting a PB, that'd be bad. Oh, that was so tight. Ah, I clipped the curb and it just sent me right up into that wall. Ah, that's gonna be like, yeah, 112.5. I have this like nagging feeling that I can do way better than that at 111.8. Not good, maybe. Yeah, that sounds about right for George. He's very critical of himself. Like me, but, you know, the run does, you know, throw all sorts of terrible things at you when it comes to, like, things that are completely out of your control. So I understand fully. Yeah, George... I don't want to sound mean, but George does sound, like, angry at the game a lot of the time, doesn't he? But, you know, like I said, I understand, you know. It's the run. The run is, you know, notoriously bullshit. Ah, come on. It was like, that time I was actually fully focusing and I still made that mistake. I wonder what topic that is. Like, it could be anything with George. He talks about a lot of things. Yeah. That's the thing about George. He gets like tilted by the game and then he can't carry on. Because it, you know, it gets to him. But again, like, I understand. Because it's the run, and like the game can crash, and then of course you're going to be angry, especially if you're on good pace. And it's like the game crashing is just as RNG as everything else in that game. I didn't even feel like I drove that one badly. Maybe I just drove it slow. It's getting to the point there where, like, maybe I think I should move on, regardless of the fact I know I can do better. Because I'm not feeling like driving this car anymore. And this track. You know, you can only do, like, one thing for so long. Yeah, that's George for you. Well, I mean, like, you said this, right? Speedrunners is very critical of themselves. Yeah, I don't want to sit here and sound like I'm, like, bashing on George, but he is very pessimistic. when it comes to his runs. But you know, that's just how he is, but like... And it's not like I dislike him for it or anything. NFS related drama, oh... I mean, I could take a guess at what that is. Because there was something that happened earlier on today, if it's about the Need for Speed Runs community. Wait a minute, that was going to be good. I paused and I was about to reset because I thought it was going to be bad, and then it ended up being a 111.89. I was like... I was about to give up and restart. Oh, if it's about Kuru, then I don't know. There's a lot to say about Kuru, but I don't know. I don't think I can really add anything to the Kuru conversation, which I haven't said already. And really, I've been mad about things relating to Kuru a lot in the past, and I don't want to be mad about it anymore, you know? Just, it's not worth it. Don't care anymore. Yeah, that was really funny. I was like, this is dead. I crashed into a wall. I'm gonna reset right before the finish line just to save myself some time. And I was like, hold on, that says 111. But it was a 111.89, right? So I don't think that was quicker than my other 111.8. So I'm not gonna highlight that on the VOD or anything. But that's, like, I said I wanted to move on, but the fact I just got that time makes me want to carry on. Oh, I'm gonna be stuck on this forever. Like, that was, like, a pretty blatant mistake right there, but I'm gonna carry on. 112? Yeah, high 112. One thing that this is, one thing that streaming right now is making me realize is that I need a more comfy chair. Because I'm like sitting in one position so I can get, so I can be like in good distance to my mic. But like, sitting in this position is making me like really uncomfortable. And it's like, usually my chair is very uncomfy. It's like a really cheap office chair, right? But usually I can get in a position which makes me like acceptably comfortable. But right now, because I'm trying to get like in a good position with the mic, this is like not feeling good at all. It's alright, I can tolerate it. It's just it's just like, maybe I should think about getting a new chair at some point. Oh, okay. That was a weird wall bump. There are like lots of wall bumps in this game which just don't lose you any speed whatsoever. Quite forgiving. This game can be really forgiving in terms of wall bumps, and then other times it can slow you right down to a halt like it did earlier, when I was like properly grinding against that wall. If you like grind against a wall, then you're going to lose a lot of speed really quickly, but if you just tap walls sometimes, you can preserve like all of your speed. But if you're familiar with Need for Speed Underground 2 and the way that they do their individual levels, they just like, they completely wall grind most of the turns, right? If they've got enough speed, then they'll just wall grind. And they'll just let the wall carry them around the turn because it's quicker. And this game does have that. but not to the same extent as Underground 2. Like, I'll show you an example right here, because this is dead anyway. Like, you can do that, and you don't lose, like, a ridiculous amount of speed. So there are, in some circumstances, that is faster. Say, like, you're going 200 miles an hour in the Dodge Viper, the quickest car in the game, and you, like, go full speed into a 90-degree turn. That can be faster. They do drifts? I don't know. It's been a long time since I've, you know, done any Underground 2 runs or, you know, even watched any. Yeah, like, I was big into Underground 2, like, in terms of speedrunning, I was big into Underground 2 about, like, 2016-ish. And I haven't really watched any since, so not really the best source of information in terms of like how they do their strategies and stuff. And actually, now I think of it, when I was doing Underground 2 runs, I was doing drag races. I was like the drag racing guy, so I wasn't really taking corners anyway. Yeah, but I know wall grinding is a big factor of Underground 2 and how they take their turns, and it can be in this game as well. I think people kind of, you know, they look down at wall grinding. They think, oh, that requires no skill. Like, you fling yourself into a wall and then hope you come out on the other side in the right direction. And I mean, yeah, I suppose that's true. There's a little bit of technique to it, but I expect, like, a racing game enthusiast, they probably are not too fond of everyone just grinding their car against walls. I didn't mean to hit replay. I mean, I suppose, look, game has a replay mode. Now you know. Okay, you know, since I actually quit out of that accidentally, I think this is a good time to move on. I'm done with that, honestly. So, what next? Should probably drink more. See what's going on Discord. Alright. I guess for the last two events I've driven all-wheel drive Mitsubishis both times, so maybe I should do something else. Have you done other racing game speedruns? Yes, I used to be, well, like I talked about Underground 2, right, but I used to be fairly closely associated with the Need for Speedruns community. So I did like a variety of things. I was kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none, right? I did quite a few things, but I was never really amazing at any of them. I think in terms of Need for Speed, the biggest one that I put any kind of time into would have been Most Wanted 2012. I kind of worked out a lot of the route of that game, and I was kind of the first person to put a lot of effort into it. Well, I think since then, like, that has been totally blown out of the water in terms of the route and people's ability, because, like I said, I was never really all that great. I was just I was just kind of part of the community. I should do this one. Again, it's like a 4-wheel drive Mitsubishi again. Like, this is the theme of this stream apparently. But this one is 6 minutes long. It's like 3 laps of the longest track in the game. And it was like, we were joking about this in the Juice Discord, I think. Or maybe last time I streamed. We were joking about this and it was like, this track is so long and it's like this IL is 6 minutes long, so we should definitely like do this for laughs. You got Trackmania? Is that free? I remember you saying there was like some like subscription service thing going on for it. So it's like, what do they call that? Yeah, it's like, do they call it freemium? Is that what they call it? When it's like free to download, but then there's like a subscription thing going on. Yeah. So, like, what does actually buying the subscription even give you? Like, does it give you access to more tournaments or whatever? Gold Club, okay. Hi. Oh, this car handles like so different. Like, considering pretty much all of the 4-wheel drive cars in this game, they handle fairly similarly. That's one word that I can never pronounce. Similarly, yeah, but they all handle like fairly the same. And especially since these are all Mitsubishis as well, so you'd think they'd all handle like exactly the same, but they don't. They're all slightly different, and it's throwing me off. Not to mention the fact with this one, you've actually got opponents to deal with and you start in the back of the pack. I should probably make sure I'm not playing on hard difficulty. Nope, we are normal. So yeah, this game has 2 difficulties, normal and hard. And they are significantly different. Hard is very hard. So if you're doing individual level runs, you definitely want to be on normal, otherwise these guys are going to get in the way. And they're getting in the way anyway. Yeah, this start is definitely chaotic. There's definitely an aspect to this of, you know, just getting out of the pack. And when I was practicing this last time, I was doing a much better job of it than I am now, to be entirely honest. But yeah, because we're all 4-wheel drive cars here, we've got like Subarus, we've got another Eclipse. We're all very fast off the line, right? So it's not even like I can gain an advantage by being 4-wheel drive. I'm trying to... what was my strategy for this? How did I get out of the pack? This is going to be even more boring to watch than the other one, because I'm gonna like attempt to escape all these other cars and then fail and then restart. It's going to be like 5 seconds, and then I'm going to restart every time. And then aside from that, this is like a 6-minute event, so there's like so much time to mess up with. There's like 3 laps of the longest track in the game, I'm pretty sure I already said that. What the hell? What did I do last time which allowed me to get away from these guys? I guess maybe I should just brute force my way through and just carry on with the event and just not worry about the time loss at the beginning. Ah, there we go. Yeah, the horns. The AI do actually beep their horns at you. It's pretty funny. And one of the things you can actually modify in this game is the horn. You can modify the pitch of your horn. Yeah, this definitely feels like one of the endurance tracks in this game, honestly. So this is the arcade mode, and this is one of the events from the arcade mode, and this is definitely one that we skip in the arcade mode speedrun, because it's like 6 minutes long and you don't have to do all the events, so no way we're doing this one. Yeah, I got it because I wasn't too fussed about the time loss. Of course, I crashed there. You know what? I'm just gonna do I'm just gonna do just like a no reset thing here and just drive for the full 6 minutes and then see. Even though I'm making terrible mistakes, gotta get used to this car. And you know, we were talking about the bumpiness earlier. This area is probably the worst offender when it comes to bumpy roads. You can see me going up and down these hills. There are a lot of hills in this area, and every time I go up and down one of these, you'll see the back of the car like bumping up and down a bit. Not fun to drive. But despite of this, this is my favorite area in the game. And I think it's because it's so difficult to drive. Like, I like the challenge. This is called, I think, Angel West Side, and there's like all sorts of industrial complexes and stuff here. Yeah, so sorry if I don't read chat too much whilst I'm doing this, because I gotta focus. Yeah, there are all sorts of places in this area where if you bump on a rear-wheel drive car, you just spin. Especially the Viper, but obviously the Viper is notorious. This car has really low top speed. It's like the Eclipse. It's like, I imagine this is fairly heavily upgraded, but it still has a max speed of like under 150, right? Because all of the cars in this game mode, the arcade game mode which I'm playing, are like pre-modified. So I don't really get a say in how this performs. I'm just like using what I've been given. Come on, I'm not carrying on now. Like, if you have a full spin, then that's not even worth it, right? Yeah, this is a tune. I'm trying to think if this is the best of the destination tracks, in my opinion. Hey, that worked. That worked pretty well. Because there are so many destination tracks, and the majority of them are Mungyo Dance. So it's not like they even really have uploads on YouTube. Or if they do, it's, you know, it's footage of the game and not just the song. I bet that's so loud. The other destination, the original destination I should say, is on Relapse. But the destination track on Relapse is, I think that's like a remake of the one that was originally in Mungyo Dance. But that one's just called Destination. But I know there's others called like Final Destination, which in that film series, and and I think there's one called like Destination of the Heart, and they all kind of they have like a similar motif in them. Turf Masters. I've heard this song too much. I'm gonna be fully honest, I do not like this song anymore. I've heard it way too many times. It was good like the first year, but not anymore. But it's background noise on stream, so I can handle it. It's funny because, like, if I wanted to, oh, come on, fucking off-road. If I wanted to, I could just sit here and talk about every song as it comes on for the entire duration of the song, and that would probably get really grating to anyone watching, but, like, I could do it. I could just talk about music. I hit the tunes so quiet. You mean it's quiet? Because yeah, it probably is. And I'm still like, in terms of, you know, broadcasting, streaming, all that sort of thing, don't have much experience with audio mixing. Because I'm like an audio person, right? But like, when it comes to broadcasting, not my area of expertise. See, that's the thing. I like all the music. I'm like that generic person who says, "Yeah, I listen to everything." Yeah, I do like City of Evil. I mean, I did like City of Evil. Not sure if I'd like it anymore. Haven't listened to it since I was like 15. Not the whole thing, at least. I've probably heard like individual songs. Look, I'll have you know I am 20 now. I mean, like, yeah, I can tolerate what you maybe would classify weeb music, sure. I like some music which has, like, Japanese anime vocal samples in it, sure. I guess if you're talking about, like, full weeb music, as in, like, a Vocaloid, then no, I don't really listen to much of that. But, like, it's not to say I don't like it. I mean, I could tolerate it. There's probably Vocaloid music that I love, but don't listen to much of it, honestly. Wouldn't really know where to look. Because with those songs, all of the titles are in, like, Japanese, so how would I search for it? With Vocaloid music, like, I think it's one of those things where you need to know someone who's already really deep into Vocaloid music to actually, like, have a bearing on it yourself. Or maybe just, like, listen to one Vocaloid song and then surf your YouTube recommendations. Because, I mean, like, sure, they'll probably give you a bunch of good ones. Because, like, when it comes to Vocaloid music, when it comes to Vocaloid, I'd probably be just like Hasumi Miku. That's all I know. That's the thing, I don't... Again, like, it's not that I don't like Vocaloid music, I just don't listen to it, you know? But, like, if you're talking about, you know, quote-unquote weeb music, Vocaloid is about as, you know, weeb as it gets. I don't even know how you go about pronouncing that. Senbon Zakira. Trankman. Oh, White Flame. Is that name familiar? I might be getting it mixed up with something else. Trankman. I used to have this one friend, like 2018, and he liked Vocaloid music a lot, and he used to send me a lot of Vocaloid music, and it was kind of just whatever. Like, I listened to it, and it was kind of so-so. Yeah, anyway, that was all 6:14. So I wasn't kidding when I said this was literally like fucking 6 minutes, but yeah, I don't even know, like, I probably made a ton of mistakes. So, like, would it be ridiculous to say that maybe a sub 6 is possible with this? Maybe with Nitrous, because again, I'm not using Nitrous. Going for no Nitrous attempts, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to aim for with this. I don't really know how many more attempts I'm going to give it either, because this is like a big commitment every time. You know, there's a lot of time to make a mistake. If you're going to be like overly scrutinous when it comes to resetting, there's definitely a lot of time here to make mistakes and reset. Yeah, I definitely think when it comes to Vocaloid or like just Japanese, that is not for everyone, you know. A lot of people are just completely turned off by Japanese vocals in general, or even just foreign vocals. Yeah, trying to speak. RQ, yeah, a lot of Think Break samples, a lot of kind of classic ravey samples. I don't even know how you pronounce that. Is that like French? So it's like Tuilemont? But that's I know that's your number one Scrobbled song, it's Megadeth. I mean, yeah, it's like your number one Scrobbled song, but you haven't really listened to it in, well, like 7 years, right? Or at least that's when the vast majority of the Scrobbles were. That wasn't good enough. I like got caught up in so much traffic there. I was like, maybe I should carry on, but like, same here, like, I can't escape. I grinded so much there I got a nitrous leak. First nitrous leak of the stream, boys. Yeah, the thing with like a Vocaloid, and I say this for quite a lot of things actually, but like, if I were to listen to, say, I don't know, like hours and hours of this stuff, I would probably find like a bunch of songs which I actually enjoy quite a lot. But like, I'm not gonna listen to hours of that genre. Sorry. I guess that sounds really close-minded, honestly, I'm sorry. Overcast shit going on? Maybe. Oh, you mean in Trackmania? Yeah. I thought you were like in Juiced. I was like, I've got shadows off, so maybe it looks like I'm hovering. Metal. Again, that's like one of the genres where I'm not all that versed in. I'm probably setting like a really bad example because I'm like, hey, I listen to everything. And then you start talking about Vocaloid, I'm like, hey, I don't listen to Vocaloid. And then you start talking about metal, I'm like, hey, I don't listen to metal either. Well, so it gives you air control in the sense that, like, when you go off jumps, you can control your direction. Oh, what am I doing? That beginning was awful. Why am I carrying on? Okay, now you mention that, I do listen to a lot of pop music, but it's like a nostalgia thing. I don't genuinely, like, sit there and unironically, you know, listen to pop music, especially modern stuff. Could you not, like, slowly turn in the air in other Trackmania games? I'm trying to think. Yeah, but in terms of pop, and Triple One knows all about this, but, I've been listening to a lot of, like, 2000s pop lately. But that's all, like, a nostalgia thing. I wouldn't say if I was, like, born in the 80s or something, I probably wouldn't be listening to that right now. Yeah, I know about, like, because in the old Trackmania games, if you were, like, flipping in the air and then you hit brake, you'd, like, straighten out. I guess that, like, being able to actually turn in the air a little bit is probably a good thing, right? I mean, it will make the game probably, like, marginally easier, but it adds probably a bunch of tactics to people who want them. Yeah, Black Eyed Peas, it's funny because, like, when I was younger, I used to listen to a lot of Black Eyed Peas. They were, like, one of my #1 favorites when I was, like, 8 or 9. But, even when I went through this, like, nostalgia phase recently, I didn't listen to a lot of Black Eyed Peas. So I think maybe that's just one of those things I should keep in the past. Music is just like Vocaloid and electronic, that's fair. I mean, electronic is a huge, like, genre. It's a big overarching thing. You know, there are, like, bazillions of fucking genres which could be tagged as electronic, you know. Oh my god. This beginning section is just pure luck. You're just relying on the other AIs not being stupid. And they are pretty stupid, but, like, I don't know. You know, I'm gonna try something, like, ridiculous, and I'm gonna put the AI difficulty on hard. Because, like, I've got a theory. Maybe they'll not be so stupid if I put them on hard, and it'll be actually easier to pass them at the beginning. I'll just check that that applied properly. Yeah. What was I doing? Was it number 2? Yeah, it was number 2. Jazz is great. Like, I guess I'm not, like, a big jazz fan in terms of, like, the whole jazz thing, because there's a lot of jazz. But, specifically, like, Japanese jazz fusion, 80s sort of thing, 80s, 90s. Maybe even 70s, but, like, that's the specific kind of jazz I'm into. And do you know what? I think I was right about my theory. You know, I turned the difficulty of the AI onto hard, and they actually, you know, were easier to pass in that instance. Wait, hold on, I'll read all that in a minute when I inevitably fail. I don't know, that was kind of a decent beginning, so I'll try and be a bit more optimistic. Although, given these lines, I don't think there's much to be optimistic about with this attempt. I gotta drink more as well. I don't know, I think my mouth just gets dry really easily because I don't know how people can stream and just have like a small cup of water or something. I feel like if I were to keep my mouth, you know, sufficiently wet throughout the entire length of a stream, I'd need fucking liters of water. Oh, this is so long. Like, I've driven a whole lap, and you know, I've been driving for like 2 minutes, and this is a 3-lap race, and we're just about to finish lap 1. It was like, oh my god, can I really be bothered to grind this out? Fucking hell. You know, I'm glad I'm not using nitrous though. Like, again, I'm not really sure if I can explain why I don't really want to use nitrous right now, if you're not familiar with the physics, but it just... nitrous makes you faster, but it's so much more dangerous to use, right? There's so much more potential for you to mess up a run. Especially in this area, because this like little straight right here, and I was talking about bounciness earlier, this is the worst. Although I guess because I'm going slowly it's not that noticeable, but then of course if I were to use nitrous I'd be going fast, so I'd be really feeling it. Come on. It's funny because this course, like this section of this area, like as you can see, it's surrounded by off-road, and if you go in the off-road you obviously lose speed, but there are some instances where it's actually kind of advantageous to cut the off-road, either because you lose speed or because the off-road doesn't slow you down enough for it to really be affect you all that much. Because, you know, sometimes the speed loss is nice. If you're preparing for a turn anyway, you can just dip into the off-road, cut a bit of the turn, and lose speed, so it's like win-win. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm particularly fond of this area in general, is because, you know, you've kind of got that whole off-road tactic to take into consideration. There's more to think about. I love the frame rate of that crane. It moves in like big jarring amounts. It's so not smooth. I don't even remember what my last time was, because I'm gonna finish this. I'm on lap 3, so I might as well. But like, yeah, I don't even remember what my time was last time I actually finished one of these. It was like a 6:14 or something. I really need more practice. This is one of these cars that, like, in the career mode you never drive, because this is the, what is this? This is the Evo 6, And I think in every circumstance the Evo 8 is the better choice. So like, there's no reason to drive this one. I mean, the Evo 6 is the Evo 6 is class 7 and the Evo 8 is class 6, but if you want to have a good all-wheel drive car for class 7, then you just get the Impreza, the 22B. So yeah, this card's kind of just invalidated by all of its other superiors. What was that? That was like a... I don't even know. Let's see. That was a 613. Did I do it nice? I didn't even know. I wasn't paying attention. If it was a good corner, then nice. You know what? I really can't be bothered to do that again. I'm just gonna mark that down on the VOD and submit that. And then hope someone beats me so I can, so, you know, I can, beat them back. I'm gonna mark this as like 6-minute race, and then I'll know exactly what I was talking about. All right, what did I miss in chat whilst I was focusing on that? Okay, so like in Trackmania, in the old one in the stadium there was the regular, like the course, and then there was like the ice rink. No, not the ice rink, the dirt. It's not going on YouTube, but it is going on speedrun.com. Yeah, there's the dirt, and then there's the like the regular track. And then there's also kind of like the platform sort of thing, but that didn't have any different physics. That was just like a different block type. Oh yeah, and Darius. Darius is jazz, but like... I don't really count Darius as jazz. I don't know, it's like... I count Darius as Ren's music. Ren's music is like a whole thing in my head. I categorize Ren's music different from, you know, regular genres. Partially because he has such a distinct style, you know. It says a lot about his music when, you know, in my head, I separate it from other things which might sound similar, but just because he has such a unique style. What next? I actually have a time. I have a time for this one, the perfect lap, but it might be bad, and I don't have a no nitrous time for this. Maybe I should do a no nitrous time for this. Honestly, that might be fun. So, like I said earlier, rear-wheel drive cars with lots of power, they are like a nightmare to control. You spin out everywhere, and this is one of them, the MRS. Or the MR2 Spider, depends where you're from. Yeah, I should do that, honestly. Speemdrum.com. Okay. Speendrum. Speedrum.com. I'll stop. Yeah, this car's a nightmare. It's like, you give it any acceleration in like any cornering whatsoever and it's like you can feel the back end going. It's like you're constantly drifting with this thing. And that is not optimal. Drifting is not fun. What was that? 41. I'm gonna look on speedrun.com and I'm gonna see what my time was. Because I did my time with nitrous, and I'm doing this time without nitrous. So I, you know, have like a good ballpark estimate of what time I should be going for here. Whenever I open speedrun.com, I always get like a bunch of frame drops, because speedrun.com has that like stream preview on the main page. And my computer doesn't like that. What am I looking for? What is it called? Is it Perfect Lap 3 or 4? It's Perfect Lap 4 in the import series. So I got a 38.87. But that was with nitrous, got to take that into consideration, not using nitrous. You know, maybe I should turn the music up. Like, again, I've got no real idea, I'm not like a broadcasting person when it comes to audio balancing, but like, this song is very quiet. I just like, I want it to be audible but not to be drowning anything else out, right? Especially the game audio, because, you know, game audio is important. Gotta hear the engine, helps to like understand what's going on. The car spins so much. This car's ridiculous, honestly. Like, it's not even all that powerful, but it has as big a spinning problem as the Viper does. And that's like stupid. No car should have that much problem with like turning and oversteer. One thing I will say I've got an advantage with here is when I did my other run, which I did with nitrous of this course, I was using D-input mode, so, you know, I didn't have like precise control over my throttle, and less precise control over my steering. So those are two things that obviously very much help with controlling oversteer, of being able to, you know, control your throttle and control your steering better. So, you know, in terms of just like inputs, I've got an advantage here, but not using nitrous, that also is an advantage, but that's obviously going to make me slower. I found that so funny, actually. My controller, my like controller situation with this game, I've got a Logitech, what is it, like F350 or something, I don't remember what it's called. I think that's what it's called. And I bought it because it was a direct input controller, and it seemed like a really good direct input controller. Or at least one within my budget that was really good, right? Because I wasn't going to spend that much. And I got it, I was like, yeah, this is great, I can play Juiced now without having a bunch of fucking, like, dead zone issues and all of the other controller issues that come with this game if you have X input. So, yeah, I was like, this is great, and I completely overlooked the fact that I had no throttle control because the triggers are just like buttons on D-input mode. And then I found out that, because this controller has a D-input and an X-input mode, I found out that in X-input mode, this controller was usable anyway, even though X-input controllers are usually like fucking useless with this game. This controller, I can use it in X-input mode anyway with this game because it has such an egregiously large fucking stick dead zone. So I have no dead zone issues with this game just because this controller has like a stupid high built-in dead zone in X-input mode, or just in general. But recently, and I mean recently within literally like the last 2 days, I think someone from the like Juiced modding Discord for PC, they found like the fucking file in the game which actually has like the dead zone data in it, and you can modify that, and apparently it like adds dead zone for X input controllers, which if it works then that's like that's a big step, honestly, because honestly this game isn't very accessible at the moment. In its current state, this game isn't very accessible because you need like a specific controller. You need like a Logitech F310 if you want to play in X input mode, or you need a D input controller, which were, you know, like phased out in like 2006 or something. And like I bought a controller to play this game just because I love this game, but not everyone's going to be willing to do that, and not everyone's going to be willing to put up with fucking like dead zone issues with their Xbox One controller or whatever. So yeah, and And you really cannot play this game on keyboard. The way the physics work, that is just a nightmare. You cannot play it well, I should say. Not like a competitive speedrun kind of ability. So being able to actually find a fix which allows, you know, Dead Zone to be put on X-Input controllers actually makes this game playable to X-Input controllers. And that is potentially a big step in making this game more accessible to new runners or just anyone who wants to play this on PC. So I hope that fix which the modding community found actually works. Because I saw someone post about it and they were like, should this be legal in terms of speedrunning? And yeah, I think so. Because with this game, because this game is so terrible in terms of controllers on PC, I quite often consider the Xbox version to be the best version of this game, which is fucking sad. So yeah, I didn't mention this, but like, one thing which makes this even more difficult is that if you crash into a wall, then you lose. Like, this is a perfect lap challenge, so you can't crash into walls. And also, like what I was mentioning about curbs earlier, this course starts out with a giant curb which you've got to jump over. And it's rear-wheel drive, so you add even more unpredictability into the equation. Wait, why is it when I crashed into the wall like 5 seconds in and it's saying challenge failed 41 seconds? Is that like a bug? That must be a bug. I doubt that could be exploited though, honestly. I don't know. It's probably just like a timer displaying issue. It's probably not anything which you can actually like trick the game with. I'm getting kind of tired. Maybe I should see if George is still streaming and maybe just raid him. I don't know. I'll probably make this my last ILI grind out. It's exhausting talking like this for so long. There's like, there was a one stream I did the other day. I mean, I say that one stream as if I actually stream ever, but like, that other stream I did with George, where like I streamed for a solid like 7 hours, and by the end of that I was only tired because it was like 5 in the morning. I wasn't tired because I was like exhausted from streaming. I keep getting like 41s, so I guess, I don't know, I keep getting like low 41s, so maybe I should go for like a high 39. A sub 40 would be nice. My other time was like a 38, right? And that was with Nitro, so that seems like a reasonable goal. I mean, this has been pretty clean, but I don't know if it was fast. Like, yeah, this has been really clean, but like, it's not, it's still like a mid 40-second run, so like, not really what I'm looking for, but like, I managed to control the car very well at least, so that's something. I think in terms of that like Mitsubishi one, the 6-lap race which I was doing earlier, I might keep chipping away at that, like every time I stream or something, and just slowly get the time down, because that is like a really long IL, like for just one race, right? It's 6 minutes long, so I don't really feel like grinding that out for long periods of time. That's kind of it's kind of exhausting to, like, you know, carry on trying to grind out a good 6-minute time over and over. So I might just come back to that every now and again. Because the time which I have on that at the moment, that was like a 6:13, right? That I don't think that was very good. But I'm still going to submit it because, you know, it was my best attempt. And I'm hoping that me submitting times to the leaderboard might, you know, entice some other people to maybe try and beat me. I mean, these times aren't great. I said this at like the beginning of the stream, but like I have high standards of my own runs, but I'm the only person on the leaderboards, so I'm not gonna go like absolutely maximum effort. Maybe sub 40 isn't realistic. Oh no, this is very short. It's a very short track, so I'm not sure if I can really cut that much time off. Oh hey, the music stops. I wonder if my playlist shouldn't be over. Maybe my playlist is over. I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I'll check that in a sec. Okay. Yeah, I assume it was over then. I must have been listening to it a bit before I started the stream. Because this playlist is like 4.5 hours long. God, that is really loud. Yeah. There, cool. I just figured that I was talking about Need for Speed World earlier whilst also probably having Need for Speed World music playing in the background. It just occurred to me. Because this song is Need for Speed World. And I have like a bunch of tracks in there, a bunch of tracks on my playlist from that game. Honestly, if I don't get a good run soon, like a sub 30 or just better than what I got before, I might just submit what I got before, because I guess now I've done a few more runs, I realise that one which I did earlier was actually pretty decent. It was like a, what was it, like a 40.6. Although having said that, before I messed up like 2 times right at the end, I was probably going to get a low 40, so like just disregard everything I just said. Guess keep going. You can't like downshift and then turn and then accelerate all at once, like that is a recipe for spinning out. I'm probably very much in the mindset of driving 4-wheel drive cars, because that's like all I've driven this stream, aside from this. And the 4-wheel drive cars, you can just throw them into turns and the worst they'll do is power slide a bit, they won't fully spin out. The funny thing about this is a perfect lap challenge, so you're not allowed to touch the walls, but like, what people don't understand is it's not about whether you touch the walls or not, it's about whether your car takes damage. And Whether or not your car has taken damage seems to be a very kind of vague thing which the game specifies, because you can like crash into a wall and it won't count as damage. Like the game seems to be a bit indecisive when it comes to what is damage. But yeah, there have been like perfect lap challenges before in the career 100% speedrun. There's one right at the beginning of the run, and you can like crash into so many walls and the game is just like, okay. It shouldn't be a nostalgia hit for you, it should be a nostalgia hit for me, because I played this game when I was young and I've been playing this game ever since I was young. I really do like the look of this game though, some of the the different areas, especially this one. I think this is probably the prettiest. So like, I think about this because I'm weird, but like, hypothetically if I were to live in any of the areas in this game, it would be this one. Because like within the story of this game, this is like where all the rich people live. This is like the hills where all like the rich snobby people live. Yeah, I was just mentioning that as the Need for Speed World soundtrack. Yeah, but this isn't one of these areas in the game. There's 8 different, like, defined areas in this game. And this is one of the areas where it's got, like, a slightly built-up area. Like where we are right now, where the start line is. With, like, houses and shit. And then most of the tracks go off into this, like, kind of slightly more off the beaten track area where there's hills. Like this area. And the downtown area does that as well. And then there are some courses in this game where it's just like completely like in a built-up area, or there are some which are like completely in the countryside. Oh, you meant Trackmania, okay. You said this game, so I thought you meant like this game is induced. But I mean, Trackmania, the aesthetic doesn't really change all that much. I guess aside from like whenever they add new environments. But like Stadium looks fairly similar, always has done. So I mean, if you're like nostalgic for the first Trackmania game, you're probably gonna feel the same way about the new one, maybe? I don't know. But why is this track so much quieter? It's all part of like the same soundtrack. I like ripped this all out of the same YouTube playlist. I still hate that I had to rip this out like a fucking YouTube playlist. I really do not like using YouTube converters. It's like pretty much the only time in recent memory I've had to do that. 40.8? Nice, I guess. Still not personal best, but like, it's on the right track, you know? I just kind of want to be done at this point. I know they made the car look different, like, for the first time the actual Trackmania Stadium car looks like up to date. It looks like an actual race car instead of looking like a old F1 car. I've seen like a very... Was that PB? That might have been. I'm gonna put that on the VOD. But... yeah, I've seen like very brief amount of footage of the new Trackmania game. And like specifically the stadium, I think that's the only environment there is, but Yeah, it does all look very like artificial. I know what I know what you're talking about. What was that? That was MR2. I'm gonna tag that as MR2 perfect lap. It wasn't even an MR2, it's an MRS, but whatever. I'm not gonna be pedantic over what car. In the new Trackmania game, isn't there like clay? It kind of looks very clay. That might be one of the surfaces. Or maybe I'm just making that up. Wow, that was a big bump. Futuristic F1 car. Is the stream like really delayed or something? Because I mentioned that being like a futuristic F1 car like quite a long time ago, and I'm kind of concerned there might be like a huge stream delay or something. Because I'm pretty sure I enabled low latency mode in Twitch. And I haven't been dropping frames, so that shouldn't be affecting it. Hey, maybe this is good. Orange shit. So, yeah, clay. The ice is bastardly. I've seen some people doing like really weird turns with the ice. Like, yeah, they'll face the car like completely backwards, but they'll still be like accelerating. It's weird. Hey, this might be good. Let's see. Okay, I'm taking that, honestly. That wasn't the sub 40 which I wanted, but like I drive that very clean and I took the corners pretty fast, so that's good enough for me. And that's like 0.2 quicker than my last previous best. MR2 perfect lap 2. Okay. Sure. Alright, I think I'm done, honestly, like I did like everything I wanted to do. Except not really at all, but like I did everything that I feel like doing right now, I should say. I think I got like 4 good times in there. It's funny because if I had like lower standards, I'd just do every track like once and then I'd submit that. And they'd all be like massively shit, but it would fill out the leaderboards, but I can't do that. I can't bring myself to do that. Oh, I've been sat in the same position for so long, my fucking ass. Yeah, I think I'm done. Now I gotta try and figure out how I'm supposed to, like, raid George. How's that feature work? And thanks everyone for watching. This has actually been really interesting. Like, this is the first time in a while well, only second time I've streamed recently, but it's the first time I've streamed without having anyone else in the call, and it's been cool. I like it. Definitely going to be streaming more because I want to fill out the individual level leaderboards a bit more. there's still a lot to go. I did like 4 tracks today, and there's like probably close to 200 tracks, or 200 like categories at least, on the leaderboards which need to be completed. I'm probably not going to do all of them in the end, I'd be here forever, but yeah, I definitely need to stream some more and fill out that leaderboard a bit more. And this is definitely the way I want to go about doing it. Local recording at 480p is just going to look ugly. I'd rather, if I'm going to be, you know, having to be doing this shit at 480p, I'd rather be streaming it than just local recording it and then putting it on YouTube in 480p. That would just be ugly. So yeah, with that, I think I'm gonna raid George. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. Alright, I pressed the raid button. Don't know what that does, never done that before. So thank you everyone for watching. I don't know how long